So one day, my brother had the best idea. He said, "Why don't you fly up, Lisa, and we'll go to a Grateful Dead show?" So, being that I was only 16 or 17, I had to convince my mom and dad to let me go. They said yes. I flew up, and the party began. We started out having some drinks on the deck of the fraternity with the sun shining on us. Everything was grand. Then we proceeded to go to the Dead show, and things started turning around a little because we were just a little too inebriated. Then we came back to the fraternity. At that point, I was out of it. I was in a closet with the Spins for the first time in my life. My brother proceeded to go on the deck, or the roof of the fraternity, and keep drinking, I guess. And he was walking along the edge and fell off. As he was falling, he grabbed the cables of the fraternity, cables that they used for all the illegal connecting of the other fraternities' cables, I guess. Anyway, he fell, landed on the one patch of grass that was there. The doctor said that if he hadn't been drinking, his body wouldn't have been able to torque around the way it did, and he probably would have died. He ended up being rushed to the Oakland hospital. They tried to find me and finally found me in a broom closet in the middle of in the fraternity. They had to get me up and bring me down with them to the hospital. They kept asking for my parents' phone number, and all I could say was 4242. It was the worst experience of my life. I have never felt so sick and hopeless and scared and out of control. The next morning, back it up. As I get into the hospital and they stroll my brother back and they do his vitals and they're about to take him in to do surgery, he's yelling at everybody saying, "I just need one more beer. Lisa, just go get me a beer. Get me a beer." And I knew this was a problem. This wasn't just fraternity partying. This was an alcoholic. The next morning, somehow I woke up and just had this moment of clarity, thinking, A, I knew I was going to be in trouble with my drinking, but B, that my brother was going to die if he didn't stop drinking. He was a brilliant, free-spirited kid that just wanted to escape reality at all times. I told him in a letter, I wrote a long letter about how can you let something not even alive, like alcohol, take over your whole life? And whatever I wrote didn't come from me, because it was so eloquent and so poignant and so meaningful that my brother's never had a drink since. And granted, being in a golf cart around campus for 6 months and the scare of almost dying and the fear of being in an emergency room in Oakland with gunshot wounds around you and the whole mess played an influence. But he always reminds me to this day that there was something that I wrote that struck him. And I'm not taking credit for it because I didn't really write the letter. I believe it was something greater than myself.